Okay, let's start the video for project part 2, the handle. Handle first. Okay. So the handle is basically a big extrude. Then we extrude it from the side to make it. All right. Then the bigger circle is 0.62. We'll get this 0.62 and about something else. We'll start using profile tool from the left side. There's something like this here. Then the bottom will be arcs, so we'll leave that alone first. Then we'll start from here, right side, also tangent, vertical, and goes inside a little bit. So that's all for the straight line part. Then we can add some dimensions here. Then the dimensions from the top to bottom, from here to y-axis. Okay. So y-axis to this point will be 0.7, and we have 0.5 from this point to y-axis. Alright, now I notice the circle goes away from the origin, so you can drag it back. Then it automatically apply a coincident constraint between the origin and the center of the circle. The next step, keep going for the dimensions. So the height here, P9, from this line to x-axis is 0.43. And as you can see, our curves are constrained. They're showing the different colors. Then P2, from here to y-axis, 0.075. And we do have another, is from here to y-axis, 0.18. So there should be a vertical distance from x-axis. So that's P7. Okay, 0.93. So far the curves are constrained. Now we'll go down for the arcs. And on the second page, you actually have a more detailed, view on the details. Okay, so arc here, and then a little bit. The end is also an arc. Then we have two arcs on the right side. Okay, so 3-point arc. The first one looks like relatively vertical on the top. And then there's another one look like this. Make sure it's tangent here. And this side, it goes this way. And the bottom one is also tangent. Then we have a little bit here. Also, we can make it tangent. Then the end is a horizontal line. We'll make the line first, then make it horizontal. Then the distance from bottom to x-axis is 6.5. Okay, and everything goes crazy. Now what we do, actually it might be better idea to apply some constraints first. So I did a Control-Z. Now we'll apply constraints between the arc and the lines. That'll be perpendicular, and here is also perpendicular. And I'm selecting the constraints. That's why you can't see the menu. So those two, perpendicular. Okay, then let's change the dimension again. That goes away. So maybe we'll start from the top. Okay, so we'll start from this point, 2.5. we'll have this point to x-axis 2.5. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then P17 is from the end point to x-axis 1.56. So gradually we're getting there. Then there's 6.3 is to this point. So from this point to x-axis is 6.3, but that'll kill the P9 here because that's shorter than 6.3. Then everything goes crazy. We'll turn that to reference, or you can delete that and drag it down close to 6.5. Then we'll drag this point down, or we can just fix this first, convert that back to active 6.5, so it doesn't change that much. Then this point will turn back to active 6.3, goes a lot, then drag it back. All right. So we can turn on dimension tool. Everything's not constrained. I mean the curves, the arcs. So we can take a look at the bottom. We have degree of freedom on the x direction. So we'll give this point to y-axis 0.5. Then the other point of the line to y-axis 0.75. Then also the arc. So we'll pick the arc. Be careful, don't pick this point, center of the arc. So pick the arc, then pick y-axis. That'll be 1 inch. And you can see the left side is constrained. Then we need to move this a little bit. Okay, by dragging the point. And we have P20 here is 0.6 inch. That's actually from this point to the arc. So we can try infer dimensions. Sometimes it's hard to get this parallel distance. Most possibly you're gonna get this horizontal distance. So you can get closer to this position and drop it 0.6. Now everything is constrained. Sketch fully constrained. And this sketch is done. You can finish this and finish the sketch. Go down to next step, that is the extrude symmetrically. Okay. So we'll do a sketch and make sure your filter here is on region boundary curve. So otherwise you're gonna have some interesting things. So default is infer curve, then you pick this. You're gonna see something like this. Then you can change it to region boundary curve. Say we want to extrude this area as well. So what we should go for region boundary curve at the beginning. That and this. We'll do symmetric. The value is 725 divided by 2 symmetrically. And okay, so that's the first extrude. Now let's continue to the second sketch. So the second sketch will be on the YZ plane. F8. That's actually the same same point. F8. Alright, then if you want to, you can trim those reference lines off. That'll give us less constraints to worry about. So do we have a horizontal constraint here? we're supposed to have horizontal constraint here. So we'll make this horizontal first, and somehow it's over constrained. Then we'll come back, add another one. I guess that was because the dimension was actually an angle dimension. So here, because that was not horizontal, 0.265, you might not have that problem. Okay, so everything's constrained. We just need to put this fillet there, which has radius of 10. So we can type in 10 first, then pick these two corners. Okay, and this sketch is finished. Then we'll extrude and cut the handle like in the slides, and then mirror the cut to the bottom. Also, you can do you can mirror the sketch to have two shapes, then extrude a cut. Then you don't have to do the mirror feature here. So I'll just follow the slides, extrude this area, then how long we have to take a look at the handle. I'll do symmetric, make sure it intersects with your handle, then we do a subtract. Okay, so you can see the top has been cut. Then we'll do a mirror feature here, and we'll select the feature which is the extrude, which already includes the subtract, okay, to the bottom. And the symmetry plane is a new plane that should be XY plane. That's your symmetry plane for the first extrude. And you can pick from here that even it says ZC, that's actually the normal direction of XY. So if you move your cursor here, it should tell you that's XY plane. But anyway, so this is after you apply the mirror feature constraint. Then the next step will be doing the a third sketch for the little part here. That is the little asymmetric portion of this handle. So we're gonna build another sketch on XY plane. All right. Now somehow it's over there. So XY plane. Then we will insert a circle here that is 0.87 in diameter. Then we need to project some curves from the first sketch or from the extrude. So we can use project curve and put this on single curve. We'll project either from the solid. Now I'm selecting the solid edge, or you can select from the sketch. Okay, so we'll hide this, and that's our sketch. Once you finish that, we will extrude using region boundary curve. I want to extrude this portion. Okay, then show the extrude. We want to add this to the bottom of the first extrude. And how much? That should be 0.075 below the bottom surface. So since I started from the mid surface or from the XY plane, I don't know how much this is away from the mid surface. So we can use measurement tool. There's a measurement. We have to select either this circle. If you want to measure the distance between 2D, you do want to measure between those 2D objects. If you measure like a point to another point, that'll be directed distance. So it will not necessarily be on the Z direction. So now anyway, the distance is 0.265. Okay, so I know it's 0.265 to the bottom, plus we want 0.75 more to the bottom. And make sure the boolean here should not be inferred, because automatically it'll try to subtract it. We want to use unite. So that is the extrude. The next are the edge blends, and make sure you follow the orders of the edge blends. So we'll start from here, edge blend. Move this a little bit here. So the first one is 0.12 on this. We'll do apply. That'll create one edge blend. Then we can keep going. 0.05. And pick this edge. Apply. Then we have the last one. And the last one, you do want to make the dimension accurate. So this should be 0.25 minus 0.075. And next is a variable edge blend. So it is edge blend. The only thing different is we will add some points and change the radius. So we can change the whole thing to 0.15 first. Then we move down here and click the end point and make sure this radius is 0.3625, which is a half of the first extrude. Okay, so let's see that works. Okay, then add these 2 points. And to make sure the end is 0.15, we can add 2 more points. I think I picked a wrong point. So we'll delete this one. Yeah, let's see. 4 points. So I want to select this one and this one. The last two should be 0.15. The other one is also 0.15. During the process, it's gonna go crazy, but after you put it in the right number, it'll come back. Okay. All right. So that is the variable radius. Then we need to finish something up. We need to make the surface tangent on the vertical, all the vertical surfaces, to make them tangent. So this is a 0.1. Apply, then we'll do the other side. This is also 0.1. Sorry, 0.05. And this one as well. Apply, pick this, 0.05. And okay. Then the last step is the shell. Okay, so we pick shell. Thickness is I think it's here. It's the same. I have this stored 0.75. So the default selection is tangent faces. So we can just pick one. Because we made all the vertical surfaces tangent, it'll select all of them. And I believe I missed that little hole there. But never mind, we can go back to the first sketch. But here you can just click on that cylinder, it'll delete that as well. So we'll go back to the first sketch, add this little hole back, and there's a dimension there. So to zoom in here, diameter 0.2, the distance to y-axis is 0.3125, and distance to x-axis 0.56. So click here, click x-axis, 0.56. Okay, I believe if you finish sketch, that automatically add to all the steps except the shell. You have to go back, double click this shell and click this cylinder. Alright, then the last step is aesthetic. You can do it, or if you don't want to, don't have to, we can pick this, make it really small. Maybe that's too small. Or you can also pick the inside, and somehow that should be tangent, but so you can take a look. You can hide the sketches, hide the datums, leave only solid body on the screen, and turn to like something like this and take a look if everything's good. All right, then the next video will be for the grip.